Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and today we are going to be doing another annual Carriers in whatever year it is, and it is 2024, so therefore we're doing a Carriers in 2024 video. That's right. Okay, so yeah, we're going to cover all sorts of carriers. I may not necessarily have them all. I mainly play like American carriers, but I will just go through the tech lines and tell you what they're kind of about to get you all kind of in the idea zone, what you might like. And then we will move on to some gameplay of a carrier. Obviously, we'll play a carrier and talk about what your jobs are and all that stuff. It's going to be a little bit of a guide video, so if y'all want to learn a thing or two, stick around and find out, okay? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So right off the bat, we are in the Saipan right here. Saipan is a premium aircraft carrier, which means it makes more money per battle and it makes more XP per battle, okay? That applies to all sorts of XP, both regular XP, ship XP, and GXP, the green XP, okay? If you guys are wondering how to get the Saipan, or how to get some premium aircraft carriers, well, the first way of doing it is by heading into the the research bureau, and you head up. It's in the archive for me, but it's probably going to be in somewhere here for you. But there is a bureau project that you guys can do out there. There is one for the there's one for the Kaga, and there's one for the Saipan. Okay, so there's two bureau projects for two of these Tier 7 premium aircraft carriers. Okay, so that's the first way of getting a premium Tier 7 aircraft carrier. The second way is going into the store, heading on over to the ships, and I think the only premium aircraft carriers are in the store are the German aircraft carrier Graf Zeppelin. I would not recommend getting this. It's a really piss poor carrier, part of my language, compared to other carriers in the game. I would not recommend it, okay? But to each their own. I think that's like the only one. Like literally, I think the Graf Zeppelin's the only aircraft carrier in the store right now. Actually, no, that's a lie. I just remembered. There is this one too, the Zuiho. The Zuiho is actually pretty good. If you like the Ryujo, if you like Japanese aircraft carriers and you like the Ryujo, you will like the Zuiho, because the Zuiho is basically a slightly better Ryujo, okay? And I'm probably going to pick this up one day, but until then, you know, it's just going to be sitting here. But yeah, Zuiho. So there's a few in the store. Or a couple in the store, but other than that, most of your carrier stuff is going to be in the tech tree here. So obviously, you start out with your tier 3 and the Langley. The Langley has regular high explosive bombs and torpedo bombers. Okay, the torpedo bombers are pretty slow, so are the regular bombers as well. They're pretty slow planes, but they're pretty tanky. Tier 3 doesn't really matter because there's not a lot of AA at tier 3, so it just doesn't make a difference. But the Americans' their specialty is their bombers. The American dive bomber, especially their high explosive dive bombers, they only have HE dive bombers. They hit really hard. They're very consistent. They get consistent damage, okay? That's the great thing about American dive bombers, is their dive bombers are absolutely nasty. Now, there is an exception. For example, the Saipan that we were just looking at here, the Saipan is the complete opposite. It does have the same American dive bombers. They do hit hard, but they're very trolly. The thing that makes Saipan so good, for example, is the torpedo bombers. The Saipan is a torpedo bombing carrier. It comes with 4 torpedoes per drop, okay? Each plane carries 2 torpedoes, so it's amazing. Saipan's a little busted, not even gonna lie. But yeah, the Americans, throughout the whole line, are basically focused on their bombing capabilities. Once you get to Lexington at tier 7, you can have an absolute boatload of bombs. Each plane, I believe, carries... I don't actually know how many bombs. I think it's like... Is it 3? Attack unit size. No, it can't be that. I actually don't know how many bombs. All I know is they carry quite a bit, and you can drop a lot of bombs on people and absolutely smack people with those bombs. One thing too is these dive bombers, the bombs themselves also have a high fire chance. So you're going to be doing consistent damage with the bombs, and you're going to be setting fires. So that's the great thing about the Americans. And once you get to the higher tiers, starting with Ranger, you do get better Anti-aircraft capabilities as well. And you get, obviously, tankier planes. You go from the biplanes to the full-blown, actual, you know, single propeller planes. So, yeah, aka the piston, I believe. I think they're piston engines, right? I'm not super into the planes. I don't exactly know how they all work or what the specs are for the planes themselves. But all I know is they're more tankier. You get more HP. They're faster. So yeah, really simple stuff. Okay, now moving on to the Japanese bombers or the Japanese aircraft carriers. From what I know, they are all about the torpedo bombers. Okay, they have great torpedo bombers. They're stealthy as well. Their planes are a bit stealthy. So that's the great thing about the Japanese. But they also do have some decent high explosive bombs as well. The only downside, though, with the Japanese planes across the whole board is they're made out of paper mache. What I mean by that, that's a joke, by the way. What I mean by that is they're weak. They're weak planes. That's the main downside. But you have more of them. So the Japanese are all about getting planes out there, dropping in, getting those torpedoes off, occasionally getting some dive bombers off too, and they're weaker planes, but they regenerate quicker. Okay, that's the whole Japanese thing. So they're better at torpedoing, slightly worse at bombing, but they still can. And their planes are a little bit more stealthy, but they're weaker. Okay, so that's the whole kind of thing there. And they're a little bit quicker, I think, than the American planes too. So faster, weaker, and well, yeah. Anyway, moving on to the British. From what I can tell, the British are just they're a little slower than the Americans and the Japanese, but they do have a lot of HP on their planes. Okay, their planes are made out of bricks. Let's just put it that way. Very tanky planes. And one thing too about the British is they have level bombers. So they literally drop a line of bombs. It's pretty cool. So yeah. Literal carpet bombing. That's basically what it is. They have carpet bombers. So that's the whole British kind of thing here. They're carpet bombing planes. But they do have torpedo bombers too. The only downside though with the torpedo bombers on most of the British aircraft carriers is the torpedo bombers are really slow. The torpedoes themselves. They're very slow torpedoes. But they do have a reticle where they actually hone in. The torpedoes actually kind of hone in into one very, very, very small area. So it's kind of interesting. But overall, I don't mind the British aircraft carriers. I'm eventually going to finish the line and get the Tier 7. But until then, got to buy all the Tier 6s first. Moving on to the Germans. A lot of people love the German aircraft carriers. I'm not a big fan of them personally, but the thing that makes the German aircraft carriers so special is they have armor-piercing bombers. And their planes are super fast, and they are super maneuverable. The planes can turn around on a dime, which makes it a lot easier to get cross-torps and cross-bombs on, so you can quickly get attacks off. It's really nice. So, yeah, their planes are pretty average for HP, a little on the low end, I think. And overall, they have AP bombers. And they also have torpedo bombers, but the torpedoes kind of spread out a little bit more than the others. So it's not the greatest, but they still can torpedo bomb pretty damn well. Okay, so AP bombers, the armor-piercing bombs can Citadel ships, but it's pretty trolly sometimes, for me at least. I struggle to get the Citadels, but I have not a lot of playtime in them. But they are potentially super, super deadly. So if you like armor-piercing bombs, you like Sky Cancer, especially the kind of Sky Cancer where you can Citadel people from the sky, well, the Germans are probably going to be for you. They're pretty nasty. And now moving on to the Russians. The Russian carriers are all about their skip bombers. They have skip bombing planes, and they have torpedo bombers too, but they're really, really slow torpedo bombs. Their torpedoes are really slow, and their torpedoes take a long time to arm, okay? So you gotta basically do a lot of leading, and you have to basically drop pretty far away from your target. So if you want to hit them with torpedoes. But the thing that makes the Russians so good is the fact that they can drop everything at once. They can drop their whole entire load at once. So you send like 6 planes at the enemy, 6 torpedoes, you drop all 6 torpedoes at once. The only downside is, though, the torpedoes do less damage, obviously, to balance that, since you're dropping every single thing in your whole squadron. Same thing with the skip bombers. The skip bombers, literally, what happens is they hit the water, and they skip on the water. There's 3 skips, so that you drop them on the water, and they skip once, they skip twice, and they skip again. The goal is to try to hit them mid-skip. So you want to kind of calculate. You just have to play them to figure it out. And also, one thing to mention, you don't get skip bombers until you hit tier 5 and 7. The tier 3 Komsomolets does not have skip bombers. So, yeah. And finally, I think that's actually it. I think we covered all of them, haven't we? So that's all the carriers. Nonetheless, today we're going to be playing the Saipan. It's a little bit more unique. Like I said, it's a torpedo bombing American aircraft carrier. So this is going to be the ship we play today. The carrier we play in today's video. I hope we can get a good game. If not, it's whatever. But mostly, since, you know, if you're playing a carrier, you should have a good game no matter what, as long as you do your job. So I'm going to be throwing that term around a lot. Doing your job, ladies and gentlemen. Aircraft carriers are the most pivotal role on your entire team. They can spot anything at any given time on the map, which is a huge, huge, huge power to have as an aircraft carrier. It's a huge role on your team. You can go around and do reconnaissance. You can spot things, especially destroyers. Do you see where I'm going with this? So we're on Warrior's Path. It's a domination mode. But, like I said, the main thing you want to be doing in your aircraft carriers is spotting things. Spotting, spotting, and spotting. One thing, too, as well, you can move your aircraft carrier, but I don't recommend it. For the first 5 minutes of the game, for the most part, what I do in my aircraft carriers is I just sit still. I don't move my aircraft carrier. But what you want to be doing at all times is taking a look at the minimap, getting an idea of where people are going. Obviously, if there's somebody running you down, if there's somebody coming towards you, then you want to basically go to the map and use your waypoint system. Okay, when you hold X, you can have a waypoint, and your carrier will turn. See, my carrier starts going on its own. Look at the map here. If you guys know how to go to the map, you should by now, but if you don't, that's a you problem. But you basically hover over a square with the white square thing, and you just hold X, or I think it's like square on PlayStation. I don't know the buttons, ladies and gentlemen, but pretty important stuff nonetheless. Okay, so yeah. But anyway, I'm just gonna put my waypoint to here. I don't want to go too far away. But what I like to do at the beginning of the game is I pre-drop. The reason I do this, I immediately get a bombing off, is I try to preserve my planes. So those 2 bombers I just dropped with, they're gonna go back to the carrier. So I'm basically saving 2 planes from death, right? There's a lot of ships at this tier that have really good AA, so I just want to preserve my planes. Okay. Now look in the bottom left. You can also use your consumables. There's a fighter consumable that you can use, and I'm gonna go do that real quick over here. Actually, right about here, I'm going to put one down, so when that carrier sends his planes back, hopefully my fighter will do some decent things to him. Now, the Udaloy spotted the enemy destroyer, so what we're going to do, we're going to begin our drop. And we're going to try to hit him with our torpedoes. Now, you may not ever hit your target, like your destroyer, with the things, but at least you're keeping the ship spotted, right? That's the whole goal as a carrier. Keeping ships spotted for your team. Okay, that's your #1 job. Now, our torpedoes, unfortunately, didn't, you know, hit him. He's a pretty quick destroyer, but we are keeping him kind of spotted there for our team, so they can shoot at him and make him run away. See, that's the whole idea with carriers, is to just spot your targets, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Now, we're going to head into the Bravo cap with our planes, because there's a Cunaberte there, an Italian destroyer. We're going to go make his life a living hell, okay? That's what I do in carriers. When there's a destroyer in the lobby, I keep them spotted. I never let them get away, and yeah, I just keep putting them on the spot. Now, one thing you can do too in a carrier is you can actually spot torpedoes from the sky. Like if you're flying directly over torpedoes, you will spot them for your team. So kind of go where you think the torpedoes might be heading, and you can spot them if there are torpedoes in the water. Okay, so good tip there. Now, it looks like this Cunaberte is kind of like hugging the island here, so we're just going to kind of hover over him with our squadron here. Just keep him spotted. It looks like he's going to turn that way, so we're going to come in, try to get a squadron. Or no, never mind. Never mind, I don't think we're going to do that. Not a very good attack right there. So we're just going to keep hovering over and just kind of making his life hell. I mean, that's the whole idea right here. So we're just going to keep on hovering over and give him no room to do anything, essentially, okay? But I know he's going to be coming over here. I'm paying attention to the mini-map, and I'm going to try to line up an attack. I don't know exactly where he's at, so it's kind of hard. He's got his exhaust smokescreen, so I'm just kind of just, you know, getting a feel for things. I'm just waiting for him to get spotted. There he is. So he is running away. Okay, I didn't know if he was going to go that way or that way. Looks like he went that way. So we're just going to keep hovering over. And, yeah, that's about it. I mean, this is the whole game here. We're just going to keep on hovering over, making his life hell. That's the whole idea, ladies and gentlemen. Making his life hell. Now, we got a pretty good angle here to attack, so we're going to try it out. And looks like he's just going to keep sailing on present course. And we should hit him with both of those torpedoes. Just like that. Oh, we're going to hit him with a third as well. Well, there you go. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of aircraft carriers. Putting destroyers in the dirt. It's glorious, isn't it? But anyway, nonetheless, we're going to drop a couple right here. Unfortunately, one of my planes got shot down, so yeah, I just basically screwed that up. But it's okay. We're making him run away, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We now have 2 caps. We have 2 caps. See? We're keeping the destroyers off the caps so our teammates can get in there and get those caps. Now, unfortunately, our black is coming under bombing attacks from the enemy Kaga. So that's something we have to try to go help him out with. I'm trying to fly over there so I can potentially get my my fighters over there for him. I want to go try to put fighters over there for him. So that's exactly what we're going to try to do. Now notice this side of the map here is getting overrun. So what I'm doing is I'm moving my carrier over here. Just to kind of get away. So I'm going to have my carrier go that way, essentially. And I'm going to put a fighter over this destroyer here, just like so. So he can get a little bit of help there with my fighters. So if that Kaga comes back in, it should help him there. Now we're going to try and go attack something. So this Iowa is pushing our Petropavlovsk. We're actually going to go try to finish him. Unless he actually goes broadside to the Petro, then he should be able to kill him. So instead, we will go and try to bomb this Kansas here. Or torpedo bomb him. So we're going to begin the lineup. And we are going to always make sure you lead your torpedoes too. You do have to lead them. So as you guys can see, Kansas just sailing in a straight line. We're going to drop them there. Just before the orange marker hits there. And we should be able to hit them with all of those. Just like that. And we're going to swing back around and do the same exact thing. Because carriers are totally balanced. You've got to love that. And we're going to hit them with 4 more. Right here. They look pretty good. We might actually only hit them with 3. Nope, hit them with 4. Boom. There we go. And we're going to come out here now with some dive bombers. Okay, some dive bombers. So you guys haven't seen any dive bombing action yet. So we're going to go ahead and do just that. We're actually going to have our carrier come kind of back over here-ish. Because this side might get overran. ARP Musashi, Odin not doing too good on HP. So I just want to kind of be ready to run away back over to the other side. I don't know where their destroyers are. I think the destroyer is with those guys over there. So I'm not going to bother. What I want to do is try to help this side out, get this side cleaned up. So they can take Charlie, and then I can go hunt the destroyer down with the planes. So just thinking out ahead, looking at the minimap, ladies and gentlemen. It's super, super important. So you can get an idea of what you need to be doing. It looks like the Petro here just did finish off that Kansas. So that is great. And that side is getting overran. So we are not going to bother over there. We're going to run away. We're actually going to send our carrier over here. Because we know that that side's going to get overran, and they're going to push in. Okay, we know this. So we're running away to the other side of the map. So we can live. Now, it looks like this destroyer here, can't really see him, but this destroyer did take out that Cunaberte. So now we can go back and help the other side. Okay? So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go over and help them out. At the same time, while we strategically reposition. We don't want to be over here when that onslaught comes through. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to send those guys back, and we're going to take off with some torpedo bombers, because I'm not going to fly across the whole map. We're just going to go from here. And yeah, do exactly that. So Actually, carrier's right here. I need to... He's actually keeping me spotted, so that's not good. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over, put down some fighters right about here, some cap fighters, and we're going to turn our carrier away because those bombers just got us spotted. I don't want this battleship here to shoot me, so we're going to play smart here. Now, it looks like the Pommern is going through a nice narrow channel, so we're going to see if we can't drop on him. We're going to activate our invincibility perk there, and we're going to activate our engine cooling perk as well. And we're going to drop right about there. 4 torpedoes away, and they look great. And yeah, they are pretty decent damage. And we're going to do the same exact thing once again. A little bit of a wider gap, but that should be perfect. It's a big ship, and we should hit him with all 4 once again. Just like that. And I think we got a perma-flood as well. So that guy is not having fun at all. That Pommern, not having fun. So he's flooding, and yeah, that should take a lot of HP off him, because I think he did just damage control my flood earlier, so yeah, that should be great. Should be great indeed. We're going to just send our carrier back up here, though, and we're going to go this way. Over this way, there's a destroyer and a cruiser, so we want to get that destroyer spotted and begin dropping on him, because I think he's going to try to come hunt me down. So yeah, we're gonna come over here and intercept this destroyer. If that's what he's doing, of course. Look like Petropavlovsk is right there, that's a problem. Udaloy's right here. We're gonna drop right there, lead a little bit with the bombs. And... ah, we missed. See? Saipan bombs a little bit trolly. They're a little trolly, so you gotta like be very precise, and it's just weird. It is just weird. I don't want my plane to die, so we're going to activate our invincibility. And drop right there. And... oh my gosh, see? See what I'm talking about with the troll? Like, the bombs land literally like 5 feet away from him. Like, that's what I'm talking about with the troll bombs. Super, super trolly stuff. But we're making him turn away, which is good. So there's that. Hopefully my team should be able to take out this Pommern. I mean, he did damage con that flood, I think, so if they set a fire or anything, he's going to be not having a good time. That's for sure. Trying to think, is this guy just going to sit in his smoke? I wonder, is he just going to sit in his smoke screen? I guess he is. I guess he is just going to sit in the smoke screen. It's really unfortunate. Alright, we're going to fly away. Hopefully we can preserve these last 2 guys. Hopefully? Yeah, we can. Okay, good. So I'm just trying to fly around here. Unfortunately, though, it's just... I'm just not going to be able to get in there. My planes are all screwed up, so that's a little bit of an error on my end. For some reason, my teammates cannot take out this freaking Pommern. So we're going to fly over there and try to help them with that. At the same time, though, we want to try to get up here to cover. I mean, look at the points as well, ladies and gentlemen. We are super ahead on points right now. So there's no need to be overly aggressive in this game. We just need to try to stay alive and hold. But if we can kill people in the process, that would be great too. So, yeah, I'm trying to run up north to get into cover. Because they're trying to chase me down. So, it's kind of the whole idea here. So, Pommern's right here. I'm going to try to go off the left and then curve right. Like this. With the bombers, just like that. And we hit 2. Hopefully we can hit 1 or 2 more. That would be nice. Yep, we're going to be able to hit 2 more. And we're going to come in with some bombers as well. 8,000 damage there with 2 torpedoes. We gotta love that. I mean, I'm making him super soft. He's super soft. Like, all they need to do is... this Petro just needs to put 1 more shot into him. Otherwise, I'll come in with the bombers, I'll finish him, but... Petro's just not getting the shots right now he needs, so I'm just going to come in here and finish him. Unless he can do that. I'll wait a little bit longer. I don't want to start bombing and then, you know, miss. Just got his shot out. And he almost killed him. Almost. So I'm just going to start dropping. Take him out here. Or not take him out, just set a double fire. I guess that works too? Question mark? Got a fire on him as well. Looks like the Brandenburg, or the Pommern, got his damage control, so that's really unfortunate. And we are currently deplaned, so yeah, we have no more planes. But it doesn't matter, because we won this game. Look at the points, look at the timer. Only 1 minute left. So really, I think that's an astounding success. We got the caps early on. That right there is what won us this game. Getting those caps early, getting the destroyers to run away from the caps, was huge. That was huge. And that's exactly what you need to be doing, ladies and gentlemen, in your carriers. Spotting people and attacking people that need to be attacked. Like, there's some people who have a priority, right? Destroyers are #1 priority. But if you can't attack the destroyers, if they have a big AA bubble with them, like if they got a bunch of people around them, then go attack somebody else, right? But you want to be careful who you attack. And yeah, if there's somebody in the cap and you need to get resets, do exactly that, right? Only 10 seconds left, though, on the clock, so I don't think we're going to be able to hit him here. We might. 5 seconds left. Nah, those torpedoes aren't going to get there in time. Nope. But look at that. We won. Even though the enemy team had more ships at the end, we still won the game because we got the caps early on. We made the Udaloy run away from the Alpha cap. We made the Kunaberte run away from the Bravo cap. So our team got in there, got the caps. Great job, team. The destroyers and everybody did their jobs. And that Petropavlovsk, shout out to him as well. He had some great salvos over on the right side of the map at Charlie. He did some great things too. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Also, we have a Wargaming crew guy in here. Look at that. What are the odds of that? I didn't even realize that there was somebody that from Wargaming in this lobby. But there we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that is the carriers. I mean, that's just a little nice game right there, to show you what an experienced carrier player can do and how much influence a carrier can have on a game. A lot of people out there in their carriers, they just think you just go in, attack big battleships, and that's about it. No, it's a lot more to it. There's a lot more to it, right? You can move your carrier around strategically. You can attack strategic targets like destroyers. You can put any ship in the game on the spot. Some people will say they're overpowered, and you're mostly right. Carriers are pretty busted. Like, the damage we were doing in that game to people was pretty nasty. Not even gonna lie. There's a reason why people call carriers sky cancer. It is. It's just sky cancer. But nonetheless, I hope you all did enjoy today's video. If you all did, be sure to go down there, hit the like button and all the stuff, right? Hit the subscribe button if you're new and all that. I appreciate you all. One thing we haven't covered either was the commanders. Here's my commander that I run, Ernst King. I run full-blown torpedo and stuff, torpedo and attacks. All my skills I put on are mostly for my to help out my bombers. Okay, you can also put on modifications. I recommend anything that gives you extra restoration time. So this one, always put that on. Anything that gives you extra HP for your planes, put those on. And like concealment, obviously, is a no-brainer. Having better concealment for your aircraft carrier itself is nice. Some people can put on aircraft cruise speed or extra AA, but I find more value having aircraft return speed up 25%. So your planes come back to your carrier quicker, and they have more HP overall. So really nice stuff right there. Just in case you guys are not aware, every single nation in the game that has aircraft carriers has their own unique commander. Okay, if you guys are wondering how to get them, you have to get them out of commander crates, which you can get every week. There's always challenges every week to unlock a commander crate for free. Or you can just buy a commander for 900,000 commander XP, okay? So for example, the Americans have Ernst King. The Japanese, for example, they get Taman Yamaguchi. They get the British aircraft carriers. They get Dennis Boyd. the Germans get Hans Geisler, and the Russians get the Elon Musk looking guy, Yevgeny, I'm not even gonna bother. I mean, I'll try. Preobrazhensky. We'll just call him Elon. He looks like Elon Musk. But yeah, they get Elon Musk. So yeah, every nation has an aircraft carrier commander, but if you don't have one, you can always use the regular commander that you get right off the bat, no matter what. The base commander that all nations get. For example, Nikolai Essen, you can put on things that help out planes, like no-fly zone. You can put on before it's too late, or you can put on, like, look at me now to get your carrier to be stealthier. You can put on hidden threat to make your torpedo bombers more stealthy. Like, there are some things you can put on if you don't have a commander, a viable commander, right? So, yeah. Anyways, a little bit of everything in today's video about all the carriers. It's not super in-depth, but it is a little bit of a guide and tips and tricks. I hope you all did learn something. If you think there's anything I missed, feel free to put it in the comments below. Say, hey, Dr. Ghost, there's also this sort of tip or this sort of trick you can do in battle to help out your carrier games. So feel free to go down there in the comments below and do just that. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your weeks. Or weekends now, actually. It's the weekend. So yeah, last video of the week. Anyway, I will catch you all on the next one. That's Carriers in 2024. And anyway, peace out. Stay healthy, as always.